My name is Michael Shikatano, and this is Right Here, Right Now, a podcast to inspire the learner inside each of us. In a world that is full of so much information, we will help find and package that information so that you can use it in your lives every day in practical ways. And in each episode, we will remind you of the importance of being present and mindful of your daily thoughts, actions, and interactions. It is truly the most vital step to learning and growth, being mindful and present right here, right now, to take on life's challenges and turn them into life's lessons. So come on this venture with us, a new beginning, a new journey that starts right here, right now. Back, people. I am Michael Shikatano, your host of Right Here, Right Now, a podcast where we are learning all together how to be more mindful and present in our lives, to better experience our lives, leading to more connections, more growth, more learning, and more creativity. That's right, people, creativity today. I want to share a few quotes that I came across at very poignant times over the last few weeks. And these quotes will lead us into a nice reflection on how being more mindfully present might allow our creative spirits to shine. The creative spirit that we all possess, that some of us need to cajole out maybe a bit more than others, right? Some of us are more natural than others in expressing our creativity. And hopefully today's discussion will help you and even help me to be more mindful of our innovative thoughts, how we can release the imaginative spirits within ourselves that we're looking to set free in the work that we do in our lives. And this venture, this podcast, and my enthusiasm to create and share and learn and grow has been a nice outlet for my creativity, releasing a sort of untapped character within me to be creative and let the creativity flow and shine and produce. And hopefully it has inspired some of you to look within yourselves to see what gifts you each have to develop and share. I also hope that some of the insights shared on this podcast have inspired you to act, to do something different, whether that's to reach out to connect with someone you've been missing, or to start a project, or pick up that book that maybe you've been putting off, or to begin a practice of mindful meditation, or to be curious about mindful meditation and learn a bit more, or reach out and help someone in need. So today, let's talk a bit about the creative spirit and what it means to me and the work that I do, both here on this podcast and in my work as a healthcare leader, in my work as a spouse, in my work as a parent, and how being more creative can be a profound way to change your endeavor in your work and in your daily life. So let's kick it off with a quote. Of course, right here, right now, this is the quote that triggered the interest in going deeper on creativity here for me. And this is by Scott Adams. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. And this is beautiful, right? I found this quote in a sketchbook that I bought for my boys when they were a bit younger. And the book is titled Draw, Inspire, Create, where dreaming and drawing cross paths. And I came across the book again when we were decorating Easter eggs a few weeks back. And one of my boys tends to struggle as he looks to create the perfect work of art. And I realize that he gets frustrated when his art does not turn out the way he wanted it to turn out, the way he envisioned it should turn out. I urged him then, as I have over the years, to not have such specific expectations when creating art, to not be so hard on yourself when you're using your imagination to create. I think having these expectations may actually hinder the creativity required to create the art. that is hidden within each of us, right? The works of art that are expressed when we are more free to express ourselves, I think they tend to be less inhibited by the constraints of expectations. If we have those expectations, I think we constrain and we inhibit that spirit of creativity. In other parts of our life, this translates to maybe some of the ideas that we generate in coming up with the solution, right? Sometimes if we're restricted by some vision of what needs to happen for the right outcome to be realized, we might be limiting ourselves in the breadth and scope of our thoughts and intentions. This concept and these thoughts had me thinking. It reminded me of a brainstorm session idea that I read about in the Humor Seriously book, where you actually try to come up with the worst ideas or ideas that may not work in your search for a solution to a problem, a challenge. According to the theory, this allows your brain to be unlocked and your creativity to roam free, the freedom that lets you create with an uninhibited spirit. I actually can't wait to try this one out in real life with a practical challenge that needs sort of a novel approach. It's going to be exciting. But back to the arts and crafts with family. And I think the message and the thought, if the art feels like it may never meet your expectations, stop and say to yourself that creativity, truly being creative to fashion something new, never before imagined or seen or realized, it demands that we set no expectations. Again, like life, right? What's that quote that I've heard? We tend to ruin some of the moments of life by having very specific expectations of how things ought to be. Let's let go of these expectations. They're nothing but constraints to living our lives more mindfully. And let's let our creative spirit shine in all that we do every day, within every moment. And then I see this quote from Johann Hari, an amazing author and researcher. I can't wait to dive into his new book, Stolen Focus, that's sitting on the shelf right here. Can't wait. And he tells us that depression is, in part, grief for your own life not turning out how it should. Grief for your own needs not being met. So I'm going to leave the second part of his quote to the experts in the field of psychology. But the first part, these are our expectations we set, our expectations that not only limit our ability to be creative, he tells us they're setting us up for a level of disappointment that is not necessary. And I want to be clear here. Not setting these expectations is not the same thing as not having a goal or a plan or something to strive for. I would not even describe this as lowering the bar here or lowering expectations to play some sort of Jedi mind trick on yourself. These expectations, what I'm talking about, they're more the ones that we set up in each moment, from moment to moment. These are the expectations we try to hold on to and tend to be disappointed when we do not meet them in our moments of inception and creating something new and novel, right? If we have it in our minds how something should look or turn out, that might not even be the new novel approach that you're looking for. So, of course, let's carry on here with a few more quotes. These are truly striking and include one of my favorites from one of the icons of intelligence and creation. Albert Einstein is definitely one of the great geniuses of all time. But what I'm really intrigued by more than anything is his insightfulness on creativity. And these provoke thoughts of how the right side of the brain should be unleashed in all that we do, all that we create. And of course, we know the right side of the brain as the creative side of the brain, and that for some of us, it's a bit more difficult to set free. And his quote, his first quote that I'm going to share here is, creativity is intelligence having fun. This is great. I feel like he's telling us that our right side of the brain and our left side of our brain can and should work together here, right? And sometimes it feels like they don't even know each other up there living in different hemispheres. So this is that bringing together. It's amazing. That was my interpretation of this really wonderful quote. And Einstein, he also tells us the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. It is not what we know, but rather what we create, right? That makes us intelligent. And this next one was amazing, especially that, again, timing is everything. I had just picked up a great little book titled Einstein's Dreams, a book that actually chronicles the vast and capacious dreams that Einstein had when he was working on his research on time and relativity. He imagined and dreamed about all of the possibilities of what time could be and how it may work in various versions of different worlds. I mean, talk about creativity and imaginativeness and what he thought we could learn from time in these different constructs. Amazing little book. He dreamt that time is a circle that bends back on itself. Our world, according to this concept of time, repeats itself endlessly. One world where time moves more slowly based on the distance from the center of the earth, thoughts of lifting up houses to be far away from the center of the earth and living in the mountains. It was really a very imaginative little book. There was a world where time flows backwards. He even spoke about a world where past actions had no bearing on current results, and current actions had no bearing on future outcomes. Essentially, that there was no relationship between cause and effect. And the author described the dream world. This was just fascinating. In this world, this is from the book, Einstein's Dreams. In this world, artists are joyous. Unpredictability is the life of their paintings, their music, their novels. They delight in events not forecasted, happenings without explanation, retrospective. Most people have learned how to live in the moment. The argument goes that if the past has uncertain effect on the present, there is no need to dwell on the past. And if the present has little effect on the future, present actions need not be weighed for their consequence. Rather, each act is an island in time to be judged on its own. Now, these were dreams and thoughts he was having. Wow, it was just a fascinating little book. And of course, that passage really resonated with me. But the one quote that is so captivating, and it's from Einstein again, so deeply inspiring, something that I feel captures what inspires me in the work that I am putting my heart and soul into on this endeavor of learning and growing and sharing, is this quote. And Einstein tells us creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. I'll repeat. Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. So this is the essence of the creative genius. How we can be looking at some challenge and first seeing an opportunity for creation, change, learning, growth, one that no one has seen before. So I'm reading and listening to so many brilliant scientists and monks and philosophers, psychologists, spiritual leaders, you name it, absorbing what they have learned and what they have shared with all of us, with me, and being inspired to think on these principles and contemplate in ways that no one else has ever thought of before. It's so exciting. It's truly inspirational, knowing that my very specific path of learning and growth, experiences and curiosity, and of course, leading to wisdom, all meet up as I look to have novel thoughts and emotions brought by these new experiences and the new knowledge. Right? So I like to do a bit of a mashup when I'm thinking about certain things, reflecting on Stoic principles. They integrate with the wisdom of spiritual teachings and just really trying to see the similarities. It's really eye-opening when you're paying attention and incorporate science and see how it complements the way a Buddhist might have handled a particular situation or challenge. It's fascinating. And I feel like that mashup, that bringing together and that connectedness of so much information, that to me is my creativity shining and beaming. And I love it. to take a perspective on a topic that is almost counterintuitive, or at least maybe seems at odds with the traditional conclusions that others have come up with. And it may not be my final conclusion, but the process of doing this allows for really a deliberately different look at the way things seem. Think back to that bad idea brainstorm, right? Similar. Unleashing sort of the creativity that might be a new novel thought or approach or conclusion from this information. And the trick here is to be a bit more open and honest with how these lessons make you feel. And of course, by paying attention right here, right now, to really seize upon the lessons from one domain of study and apply it to my life, or to reflect on how the lessons of various teachers interconnect. And this is key. In fact, for me, it's crucial. We must not be forceful in these new thoughts or insights or creative notions as they evolve from the new information. In fact, in preparing the outline and the thoughts for this episode, it felt like I was hitting a bit of a roadblock and needed to step away. And that's what I try to do, allowing for some space for the connections across the varying thoughts and ideas that I was thinking on. I just stepped away a little bit. And again, that space, it's so important. And I hopefully created those connections for you to spark your creativity in new thoughts and insights within each of you here. And it's in stepping away, the allowing, and minimal use of force that opens the mind up to what is waiting for you. And I've noticed this. I've been paying such close attention to this. It does seem that the harder we search, the harder we push, the greater the answers or ideas elude us. Yet we don't stop the search. We're open. We increase our awareness, our mindfulness, and focus on experiences and conversations and lessons and insights that are shared. And with our heads up, we're soon face to face with what we've been looking for when it finds us. And so back to my son, my beautiful son, and we'll fast forward to Mother's Day, and he presents my wife with a handmade Mother's Day card that he was inspired to create, and it was beautiful. The art and the drawings have such beautiful detail, colorful flowers and adorable butterflies that look like they're dancing in flight across the page. It was incredible. And his words spoke with such love and emotion. And so his creative spirit was shining on Mother's Day. And his ability to be free to express his love for his mother allowed him to create a true work of art. Beautiful to the eye and striking to the heart. Unbelievable. It really was powerful. And I really think he didn't have at all a picture of what that card was going to look like in his mind before he started. And look how it turned out. I'm actually going to post the picture on our website. I'll send a link in our notes here of this episode. Unbelievable. And it got me thinking a little bit. I really, again, putting all the pieces together and connecting. And, we learned from Corey, he used some math, and I really liked how he presented some information on curiosity and experience and how that multiplies to create better wisdom or more wisdom. And here I thought about a similar type of mathematical equation, if you will. And I thought maybe creativity times hope or optimism, maybe that results in possibilities. So the more creative we are, the more hopeful we are. Put those together, we have endless possibilities, right? Possibilities multiplied. It was just something, again, I thought about, and I think it's a nice way to think about how being more creative can really open up doors to lots of possibilities. We can't really be out there looking for inspiration, right? We can't really, again, force this. It's my belief and my experience, again, since being a little bit more mindful and paying attention, that the inspiration will find us. Similar to something, again, that I learned from Corey about his meditation and his practice, how we can't really practice meditation with a specific goal in mind. His thought is we can't sit and say, I have to meditate now because I had a bad day and need to just make it all go away. He thinks that forced intention will not work as well or at all, really, as just the natural and authentic approach to meditation. Again, maybe with little expectations, little force of the outcome of the practice of meditation. And yes, it sounds a bit paradoxical, realizing the benefits of meditation without being in search of those benefits. I think it's just being open to them and letting them come, being inspired by experiences in our lives and the connections we make. We really, we can't be in search of those inspiring moments. We can't be looking in every little nook and cranny for it. It's not that we are not looking, but not forceful in the approach, really. So we're open, and it is in the mindfully present approach and focused attention that I think that we must pay to all of our experiences of our lives, that we'll see the lessons, the ideas, the creative solutions, the connective links, and we'll notice these blessings right here, right now. Thank you all for joining us. I hope that you continue to enjoy the learning and growth and wisdom on this journey. I hope you are inspired to be a little more creative and knowing that mindful and present approach and being a little bit less harsh on yourself in your expectations allows that creative spirit to shine. Please don't forget to rate the podcast and share with someone that may be lifted up by today's message. We'll post a link to the website. It's coming along great. Again, a reminder, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we have some resources on the website for that. We'll see you next time, people. Up next on Right Here, Right Now, a series of episodes that you cannot miss, that you must share with others. We'll be learning how to unlearn and how we must think again. We're going to dive into Adam Grant's book, Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know. And his insight truly changed my life, and I think it will truly impact upon yours. In a world that is changing every day, we really need to change how we think and how we have to rethink and let go, unlearn what we've been holding on to for many, many years, the beliefs, the insights, the information, the opinions. So come on this journey with us, learning to unlearn how we will grow and transform and evolve right here, right now. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time, right here, right now.